I'm off to a ladies' day this weekend, and the theme is hope. So I've been asked to bring a journaling session, and so I thought I would share it with you guys too. Here I am, I'm writing out my thoughts and questions and prayers to God around the theme of hope. I'm using lots of different types of writing pens. Some of them are permanent, some of them are going to be water soluble, as you'll see in a minute. So I'm having a good old chat with God. And now I'm adding a little bit of oil pastel, just a lovely big scribble across that page. I'm adding some watercolour paint here in different colours, and as you can see, as I start to wet the page, some of the writing starts to bleed and melt and make a lovely grungy background. I'm adding some coffee in there as well. So yeah, I was thinking about hope, and I was thinking particularly about Isaiah 40 verse 31. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not grow faint. So I'm inspired by the idea of wings and feathers in particular, and I'm asking God, what are those wings? What are the things that help me to soar above my circumstance, even when things are going a bit wrong? What is going to give me hope? And really, the answer to that for me is truth, and God's truth and his word, and really pressing into those verses that speak about who God is. I'm just finishing off my background now with a little bit of collage added to the page, and now we're going to move on and make our feathers. So I have printed out some feathers with my laser printer, and I just wet the surface, and I'm going in with some watercolours. And the safe way to mix colours together is to either stick to warm colours or cool colours. So I'm going for the warm colours here, the yellows and reds and reddy browns and that kind of thing. And I'm just adding it in very random splashy patches all over the feathers. So I'm not colouring in the feathers. You can do that if you are a colouring in person. This is basically my kind of colouring in. It's not neat and tidy. It's just wild and free. And I'm having lots of fun here adding different colours to the page. I think I'm going to do some splatters now. And I also do a little bit of printing with the end of my glue stick, because that's what I had handy. It's a nice circle shape. So I added a bit of paint to that. And as you can see, it prints nice circles all over the page. I'm not thinking about the individual feathers except to try and get some different colours on each feather, so we don't get one feather that's all the same colour. So we need to leave that to dry. Another option I explored was using Neo Colour 2, and I actually mixed that in with a little bit of oil pastel as well. So the oil pastels aren't water soluble, and the Neo Colour 2 ones are, so you get a nice mixture there. And I'm scribbling on again in random patches and lines and patterns, just having fun here. I did slightly regret using the oil pastel because when I came to write on the feathers, which we're going to do in a minute, it was quite difficult to write over the oil pastel, so that's something to bear in mind. But with the Neo Colour, once you've added a little bit of water to them, they're just fine to write over. So you can see me now writing on the feathers, and what I'm writing is little bits of Bible verses that fill me with hope, single words phrases, statements of truth, declarations, anything really from God that encourages you and gives you that hope. I'm using my little letter stamps here to stamp on some words. I think I'm actually stamping the word hope here. And then I go on to stamp the word beloved. Just because when I think about how much I'm loved by God, that gives me hope for any situation. But there might be different words that work for you. So don't feel you've got to copy what I've done. You have a think and a pray and ask God even for some words to encourage you. So here they are, and now it's time to cut them out. I'm not much into fussy cutting, and I'm not that fussy. I just cut out the basic shape. But as you can see, they look really effective. I was really pleased with how these turned out. So now all that's left to do is for you to stick your feathers on your background and decide how you want to do that creatively. You could make a little bird like you just saw there. This is my attempt at doing an eagle. Or you could keep it really simple. You could just make a kind of wreath circle shape with your feathers and maybe put a heart or a picture inside the circle. I decided in the end that I wanted to own my wings, so I used my little thermal printer to print out a picture of myself, and I am sticking on my wings. If you build up your wings, it's easier to start with the bigger feathers at the top and work down to the smaller feathers. The other thing to be aware of is that obviously some feathers curve one way and some the other. And once you're happy with their placement, you can glue them down. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, and I look forward to seeing how you use your feathers on your page. And why not share this video maybe with someone who's struggling to have hope at the moment. God bless. See you soon.